What is up, y'all? Back at it again. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a custom sports display case that can feature whatever backdrop you wish. Whether it's an iconic fighter picture or an iconic UFC backdrop, your very own custom display is a few clicks away. So the custom display case we will be reviewing today is made by Dingle Displays, which is independently operated by Sean M., who I approached about doing a product review. While researching for better ways to display my cards, my gloves, and other memorabilia, I came across his storefront on eBay, followed him to IG, and the rest was history. So without further ado, let's jump into a product review. Alright, so since filming the intro and unboxing for this video, I've had the product for about 2 to 3 weeks now and have tested the light feature for about 30 minutes a night with absolutely zero issues at all. But before I jump into my positive, neutral, and constructive thoughts on this product, there are a few items that I want to speak on directly, and those include material, models, durability, extra parts, and shipping turnaround. The material of the display base is plastic and the outer casing is 100% virgin acrylic. There are 4 models available. The single tier 2-card display, which runs for 140 stock, 150 custom. The premium single tier 2-card display, which runs for 160 stock, 175 custom. And the two main differences between those two models are better lighting and more space to see the background design better. Note, a customer can put 3 cards in both of the single displays at all time, but Sean personally doesn't like the look of 3, so he advertises 2 to not disappoint customers. Moving on, the 2-tier display fits 6 cards in total and runs for 215 stock, 225 custom. And lastly, the full-size helmet display is currently going for 215 stock or custom. However, Sean did footnote that he thinks the price for this will eventually go up to 225 because his material cost continues to rise. Durability of product based on customer feedback. Sean shares that he hasn't received feedback directly on durability, which he assumes to be a good thing or at least a good sign. He adds that durability during shipping is the only feedback he has received. The single tier and the 2-tier typically ship very well and are easy to package with very low rate of issue in transit, about 1% of orders. The other two models, there is a higher percentage at about 5% of orders, but it's noteworthy to mention that to date, he has sold over 700 of his display units. However, if there is any issue during shipping, all he asks is that a customer provide a picture of the issue and no questions asked. He will reship a replacement at no extra cost to the customer. If something breaks, are spare parts available? He hasn't had incidents with something breaking outside of shipping. He thinks the reasoning behind durability being a non-issue is typically the displays aren't moving around much once it is set up. And finally, typical shipping turnaround, 1 to 2 days on stock orders and 2 to 5 days on custom orders. So for my genuine and positive thoughts on this product, I think it's a really great display. These look great with gloves, acrylics, trading cards, and they lend themselves well for all other sports as well. If you have a basketball, football, baseball you want to display, a helmet you want to display, he has a model that's going to fit any of those items. For me personally, acrylics ended up being my favorite item to display in this model with the light feature on. And not just for the sake of displaying, but legitimately it feels like a much safer option for acrylics, as it doesn't take much to get these wobbling for balance. My neutral thoughts come around pricing. I think pricing is fair, and ultimately the market's what's going to determine whether it's fair or not. And the fact that he's moved 700 plus of these lets me know that they respect the price. That being said, if it was a much larger company, I don't think that I would feel that way. I feel like they're charging a bit too much of a premium on the item, but because this is a one-man show, fellow collector, filling a gap in the market, I'm okay with it, and I'm happy to put what it requires for him to cover his cost, his time, and a little bit of profit in his pocket for all of his effort, which is why I am neutral with the price. That being said, I will never say no to a discount, and neither should you. Through the end of 2024, Sean is going to be offering a 15% discount to people that mention this video when placing an order. Once again, want a 15% discount? Mention this video when placing an order. Let's jump back into it, y'all. And finally, for my constructive thoughts on this product, and it's noteworthy to mention that Sean addressed all three that you're about to hear. The first one was, it would be great if all orders came in immaculate condition down to the vinyl sticker. For me personally, I was okay with this specific scuffing because I know it wouldn't be visible in my display, but I could see myself being upset if it was at the front. But more importantly, when addressing this with Sean, he didn't approach it defensively, and he didn't approach it making excuses. He took complete accountability. He said he can and he will do better moving forward, and that this was just an oversight on his end. Moving on, I also let him know that the cart stand included to me wasn't intuitive on how to put it together, so having a manual included would make it easier because I'm used to using this model of a cart stand. So this one just got a little tricky and I left that part of the video out, but moving forward, he's actually going to include this in every order going forward. And the last thing was a very small one, but again, it's the small details that count. I let him know that the tape he used on the cart stand leaves a very sticky residue. So when you take it off, it's maybe even visible in the video. Like, that shouldn't be for the customer to have to clean off. So going forward, he's also just gonna use the blue painter tape so that it's easier to not leave any residue whatsoever behind. And as an FYI, if you plan to display graded cards in this model, you're going to have to stick to the card stands that come included, because this model here doesn't allow for the casing to close all the way. And for reference, this is what one graded card looks like in this model. And noteworthy to mention that the vinyl on the base is removable in the event that you want to swap from time to time different custom displays. Now, as a way to wrap up this video, the only question that remains is, would I recommend that my viewers purchase one of these custom displays? My answer would be yes. I truly believe that every collector should have at least one of these displays in their collection, because there's no better way than to showcase your memorabilia with something that has a light fixture to it, has your custom vinyl sticker that you want, and something that's swappable as well. I also like those frames where you can put 10 to 20 slabs for those that say, well, I'd rather go with a display like that I can put multiple slabs versus something like this that you're more limited. I hear you. I just think that that display case and that type of model serves a different need. That's something that's going to go on your wall, be a little bit more fixed. You're not going to swap them out that often, in my opinion, but something like this, it's intentionally something that you want to update pretty frequently, or just showcase that one super rare, one of one card that you might own, or that fighter worn glove that you might own. So I just think it serves a different purpose. And for me, I'm super thrilled to have this, and I would absolutely, recommend it to a friend and family. I think it makes a great holiday gift. In other words, that would be my long-winded way to say, yes, I would absolutely recommend that my viewers pick up one of these custom displays if you're in the market to display something very unique. Now, before we close, I do want to run through a few frequently asked questions, so let's jump into those. How do custom orders work? Through Instagram, Sean requires a $35 deposit to begin designing, the remainder upon completion. Through eBay, Whatnot, Etsy, Mercari, etc., Sean will create a custom order listing after discussing what the customer wants via messages. Once purchased, Sean will begin designing. Will I be able to see my custom display before shipping? Yes, once Sean finishes the design, he's going to reach out to the buyer via message with a picture for approval. Only with approval will Sean proceed to complete your order and shipping. Well, with that, I would love to hear community feedback on this custom display. Do you plan to purchase one? Do you already own one? And if so, what has your experience been with your display? If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. Until next time, this has been Doers Taking Breaks. We are out of here, y'all. Peace.